Hey everyone, Oscar here. When I was a kid, I loved Gravity Falls. It was, and still is, one of my favorite animated TV shows of all time. All of the characters were extremely memorable and funny in their own ways, but perhaps the most interesting character in the entire show is Bill Cipher. Despite only being in 7 out of 40 episodes across 2 seasons, the show does an amazing job of building his character and making him an intriguing villain. His lore is also expanded upon in Journal 3 and the Book of Bill, which got me thinking about this series again. So how strong is the beast with one eye? Well, I'll be going over his powers, abilities, and stats to see how strong he truly is. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. When it comes to his powers and abilities, Bill is definitely not a slouch in this department. He has tons upon tons of powers that I'd like to talk about, but I don't have the time or patience to cover all of them, so I'll focus on his most prominent abilities. These include mind reading, possession, clairvoyance, fire manipulation, soul absorption, reality warping, insanity inducement, causality manipulation, plot manipulation, shape-shifting, motor skill manipulation, cosmic awareness, fourth wall awareness, nightmare inducement, astral projection, dream world manipulation, telekinesis, space-time manipulation, and transmutation. Bill also has many layers of immortality, such as concept-dependent immortality, life and death transcendence, parasitic immortality, regenerative immortality, and resilient immortality.
But Oscar, if Bill's so immortal, then how come he died in the show?
Well, he's not completely dead as proven in the Book of Bill, and secondly, his immortality is tied to the concept of himself. This is talked about a few times in the series, as Bill himself states that he's an idea, and an idea can't be killed, but it can be forgotten, which is why they had to use the memory gun. That's not Bill's only weakness though. His abilities couldn't affect the unicorn hair barriers, and he needed Stanford's help to pop the weirdness bubble surrounding Gravity Falls. Bill's eye is also extremely sensitive, and he even says that this is his weak spot. But for some reason, one of his biggest weaknesses is synthesized music? I genuinely can't make this up. So although Bill has a few weaknesses that you could exploit, he could probably kill you before you use them. To understand where Bill scales, first we have to understand the Gravity Falls cosmology, and it is much bigger than you think. To start off, the multiverse is stated several times to have infinite universes or worlds, which are used interchangeably, but they mean the same thing here. This would very obviously make it low complex multiversal due to having infinite spacetimes. Stanford states in Journal 3 that there are beings that exist in 7 to 11 dimensions at once, and although this could possibly be referring to universes, Bill explicitly states that they are 7-dimensional beings, further proving these are actual dimensions and not universes. This would place the aliens at complex multiversal to high complex multiversal. Bill also says that string theory does in fact exist, which, long story short, means the multiverse contains 11 dimensions, supporting the high complex multiversal tier of power. But a crucial part of the cosmology is the Nightmare Realm. The Nightmare Realm contains the entire multiverse and is stated to be a dimension between dimensions and a gateway to other worlds. Stanford's diagram also displays the Nightmare Realm as a bulk, which in simple terms is a 5th-dimensional gateway between the universes. Stanford also states that to build the interdimensional portal, he needed to use 5th-dimensional calculus. The Nightmare Realm is also stated to be a higher plane of existence, which should scale it above the infinite multiverse, which are composed of 4D universes due to containing 3 spatial dimensions along with the time dimension. All these should solidify that the Nightmare Realm is at least 5D, or low complex multiversal. The Nightmare Realm should also be higher dimensional due to containing non-Euclidean objects, which usually cannot exist in 3D spaces. However, you can scale it even higher. The Nightmare dimension is shown to have its own flow of time, and it houses the 4th dimension, which is a time and space between time and space. The 4th dimension also houses all these infinite timelines and has its own flow of time, further proving its superiority to them. This should mean that the Nightmare Realm has its own time axis 2 layers above the multiverse, which would make it at least 6D, or complex multiversal, to at most 12D, or hyperversal. So why does Bill scale to the Gravity Falls cosmology? Well, there are multiple statements and feats that should fully scale him to the cosmology. Bill is stated to be a threat to the entire multiverse on 2 occasions, and he even states that his goal is to smash reality. This is also supported in the show, as he caused the dimensional rift, and seems to be the reason why it exists in the first place, as after his death, it closed and reversed most of the damage. Time Baby states that this rift's mere existence, if not closed, would lead to the destruction of the entire cosmology. Bill also defeated the Shacktron, which may seem like an anti-feat at first, but the Shacktron was powered by the interdimensional portal I mentioned earlier, which shook the Nightmare Realm when it was activated, potentially getting it into those 6 to 12D ranges of power as well. Speaking of the Nightmare Realm, Bill was able to take it over, essentially becoming its ruler, and considering it's the highest realm in the cosmology, this obviously means that Bill should at worst scale to it. Overall, Bill's AP ranges from low complex multiversal to high complex multiversal, but at best he would be hyperversal if highballed. Bill has a few interesting speed feats, like jump scaring Dipper, which is subsonic plus, and traveling to another galaxy in seconds, which is MFTL plus. But Bill's most impressive speed feats are much higher. Bill states that he can navigate beyond linear chronology, and in one instance, he even moves through time. Bill also implies that he is unbound by time, further proving that he has immeasurable speed. But perhaps his most interesting and blatantly obvious feat is when he refers to time as a distance, which is very in line with how a 4D being would see time. But even if he isn't, perceiving time as a distance is an obvious immeasurable speed feat, and since Time Baby is also implied to see time as a distance, Bill should gain immeasurable speed from that considering he one-shot him before he could even react. That's all for today. If you enjoyed this scaling video, please consider clicking that subscribe button and turning on all notifications. Make sure to leave a like if you want to see more videos in the future just like this one. Also, I'll be doing a Q&A next week, so feel free to ask me as many questions as you want in the comments. They don't just have to be about power scaling. They can be personal as long as they're appropriate. Finally, join my Discord server by checking out the link in the description. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Goodbye.